literally what she said was keto doesn't work for some people. So instead of asking me the question, what do you think keto is? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because most people actually have no idea what keto is. And I think that is...
Including most doctors.
That also needs to be another video. People don't know what keto is.
I thought it was a myth. I thought it was a weird witch doctory science.
Me too. I thought it was a fad. I thought it was a lie. I didn't understand that keto meant running on body fat.
Well,
I didn't understand.
I thought ketones were made up. I thought people were like metachlorians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I legitimately thought, like, when people were like, no, you get your body to run on ketones. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like
I
your
want to
spirit-
say
it's
curse
a
words right now,
spiritual
but we're not a
power.
cursing podcast. So I'm like,
Yeah.
no way, dude.
Yeah.
No way. You're
No
making
way, man.
BS stuff up.
No, and
Yeah.
and for me, I was thinking ketones. All I could think of is those freaking companies who just like MLM this powder, this pink powder with flavors and stuff. And I was just like, this is such a crock of like money making BS. And really, like, the thing is that ultimately, with the exception of a handful of products, there is no such thing as packaged keto food. And if you see something that is keto and packaged, it is not keto, because keto is real food like meat, grass-fed butter, some veggies, and a couple of berries. And if it isn't those things, it isn't keto. And so falling for the whole keto snacking thing and keto drinks is ultimately what leads most people to their demise to hate keto. And I think it's done intentionally, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Okay, so then this part is a little bit fuzzy, but I think I remember telling you at this point, like, I'm really happy that I have a diagnosis, right? Like, I'm able to see on the blood sugar monitor what's happening. So now I know I have a diagnosis of reactive hypoglycemia, which I'm always so happy to get a diagnosis, because once you know what is wrong with you, confirmed by a medical doctor, it's up to you now to advocate for yourself and to get the handling that you need. And so this is when I talked to you, and I remember I was having a really hard time with cognitive function and learning and understanding concepts. And so I had you help me explore how to stop going hypoglycemic. Are you sick and tired of trying to lose weight? Are you sick and tired of fitness influencers telling you just need to log every single bite of food that you eat for the rest of your life in MyFitnessPal? Me too. So stop counting calories and start monitoring your blood sugar. Ding.
I love that. We were laying in bed. It was like 10 o'clock.
I remember.
Yeah. And you said, I need you to help me figure this out. And I, at this point, I was kind of uninvolved. I was like, okay, like, there's not much I can do.
Yeah.
You know, like, I didn't, but then at this point I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. So I stayed up for 2.5 hours researching this thing. And I went to some dark corners of Google. I mean, like, if you type in fat loss on Google.
Dark corner.
Yeah. If you type in fat loss on Google, the first thing they'll bring up is all the calorie counting stuff. And going 10 pages down, you can pull this up, type in how to lose weight on Google, and see what the first options come in. But I remember keto was not on there.
No.
And so then what I was starting to do research on was
9 low carb diets, anti-inflammatory diet, calorie deficit calculator.
And if you have hypoglycemia,
Drink plenty of water. Don't skip breakfast. Eat regular meals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
opposite. Common sense is opposite.
Yeah, that's right. And so then at this point, I started doing some research on reactive hypoglycemia. And what happens is when someone has reactive hypoglycemia, they eat sugar, their sugar goes up, and then it crashes through the bottom, meaning that your blood sugar just keeps going down, 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 down. Insulin releases, and then your blood sugar just keeps getting released. It
sends out more insulin than it would in a healthy individual. So basically, you should have a little tiny spike, and you should come back down to your normal range, right? So you go up a little bit, you come down, and you stay steady. So with reactive hypoglycemia, you go up, 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 and then you go way down.
Mm-hmm. And then, so there's also a reverse hormone. So there's an opposite of insulin. And what this hormone does is it's supposed to bring it back up. And yours was not bringing it back up. So I said, okay, well, theoretically,
it wouldn't come up without sugar, right?
That's right. And so your body was not functioning. It wasn't producing this hormone to bring your blood sugar back up. This
is why my brain was suffering, because I didn't have glucose.
Yeah.
So this is why you get into a stage of people who are just like, because your brain is literally not functioning.
Yeah.
There's no glucose, and you don't have backup ketones because you're not in ketosis. So your brain just can't function.
That's right. And so after doing this, I compiled this research and I sent it to Tiffany in a text message. I said, okay, look at these articles. I think I figured out what to do. And I said, so, theoretically, if you don't eat sugar, then you will never spike your sugar in the first place. I didn't read this. I didn't find this article anywhere. I was just thought, well, if you don't put sugar in your body, sugar won't go into your blood sugar won't go up, then your blood sugar won't go down.
And my response was, nah, that ain't it. That ain't it.
Yeah, she said, no.
Phil, I've been your neighbor for 10 years. Nah, that ain't it.
No, that's not it.
Hey, do I know you? Phil, I've been your neighbor for 10 years. Nah, that ain't it.
Yeah.
She's quoting Kicking and Screaming, John.
Yeah, that's right. I couldn't remember which movie.
It could be sugar, Tiffany. No, that ain't it.
Yeah, so anyways.
You ever think the reason you got high blood sugar is because all the sugar you eat?
Nah. That's
and
not
it sounded so stupid. I was like, it's because of sugar. And you would think, oh, that's a little too simple. Well, usually that's the right thing. So I said, okay, so this isn't obviously a convincing argument to her, because I had even brought up a year earlier. I said, what if we did no sugar? And
I screamed.
Yeah, she said, no way. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Sugar is not what makes you fat.
Yeah. And I got this idea from Michael Jordan's personal trainer. And so I've been on this thing for a while. He said he would strip every ounce of sugar out of their body so that their legs would have more power. And I was like, what the hell is this?
That's what my wife needs.
That reminds me of that Tom Cruise movie, Night and Day, where he's like, no ice cream for anyone. Alamode weakens the knees.
Yeah.
Lincoln knew it, and they got to him.
Speaking of, I watch movies now, and there are little excerpts in almost every movie kind of showing you that carbs are what makes you fat. There are little tiny excerpts in each thing of like, no, I don't eat carbs. And I think, oh no, that carb, like, there's like a little, there's ever like a super hot, skinny actress, which there is in every movie in Hollywood, there's always a little segment about, yeah, carbs make you fat. Everybody knows that. I'm like,
wow.
And our Hollywood actors and actresses are the most anti-keto. All these people are anti-keto. A lot of people who are super anti-keto, you end up going back and back and back and back to the beginning of their food, and they're sharing their food when they were willing to share, because they don't share once it gets late enough in the game.
Yeah.
And you look and they were on a ketogenic diet, and they're so anti-keto because after they lose all their weight, all they want to talk about is how it's moderation. And you go back all the way on the back of their Instagram profiles. Moderation is not what got you here, baby.
No way. Yep.
It's because, by the way, that's because they have partnerships with food companies now and supplement companies that are putting ingredients in their food.
Yeah.
That is going to cause people to gain weight. And so they don't want to lose on the affiliate partnership. So they choose to say that the bad ingredients are best.
We're going to do an episode of just about ingredients, because that's going to be a whole thing.
No, I know.
Yeah, I do a lot of research on this. So
comment down below if you're curious about the ingredients aspect of things.
Yeah. So I did my research.
Yeah.
And I told Tiffany we should do sugar. And then a year earlier I said we should do sugar. She said no. This time she was like, less convincingly no.
You mean no sugar?
No sugar. And I said, okay, fine. So I figured this thing out. I think I just need to do 0 carbohydrates for a few days. I was at 175. I had gained 25, 30 pounds, something like that. And within 2 days, I had lost 10 pounds. And I was like, what is this? How did I just lose 10
Look
pounds?
at the camera with that smile.
What is this?
And camera 3?
What is it? What is this? What is this?
And I was like, now, because the story before that is that we had been trying to lose weight together postpartum, and we were, I was making weight loss meals following the whole standard fitness industry.
On a gluten dairy free,
low calorie, low fat,
high carb.
Moderate carb, though, to them. They call it moderate carb. It's high carb to us now because we're keto, but it is a moderate carb. And we did not lose a single pound. And we were doing this together every single day. And I was making the meals for us both. And so we would weigh in and our numbers would never move.
Mm-mm.
And so then when he lost the 10 pounds in 2 days, I was like,
screw you.
What? Because we had been doing this all along and it wasn't working for either one of us. So clearly something had just happened.
Yeah. And she said, I guess you're going to do low carb now. And I said, I am.
Because he told me he was going to do it. I told him, I was like, no, you're not. It's not going to. And I said, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. I was the one dissuading you.
Yeah.
Look at how far we've come.
Look how far we've come. Yeah.
Anyways, so then, I started that morning that you told me I lost 10 pounds. I remember starting that day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
September 10th, 2021. My beginning of my keto journey.